Daniel Sports Center, we go over a March Madness game preview and prediction on the round of 64 matchup between the Mississippi State Bulldogs and the Michigan State Spartans. Two teams that have had strong seasons getting to this point. You got Mississippi State. This team was out in February, really strong month for them, and they're looking to catch fire once again here in the tournament. They're taking on Michigan State, a team that's been widely considered a bit of a letdown this season, given the fact of just the experience this team has. But Michigan State is a dangerous team when it comes to March Madness, so doesn't matter what their seed is, this is a team to keep an eye on. We'll be covering a full game preview and prediction on this matchup here today. Let's get started with their team trends. Mississippi State lost to Auburn by 7 in the SEC tournament. This is a 21-13 team overall, and both teams have been fairly similar down the stretch in that both teams are 5-5 in their last 10. Although Mississippi State has been a bit more streaky than Michigan State. We've seen the Bulldogs in February had a hot run there for a while. Michigan State has had a couple of runs as well, but this has been a fairly inconsistent team over the course of the season, being a 19-14 team, and they lost to Purdue in the Big Ten quarterfinals by 5. That was overall a really competitive game there. Michigan State gave Purdue a run, but in the end, the Boilers did win. But games beyond Thursday, March 21st. This is the first round of 64 game to tip off, 12:15 p.m. Eastern in Charlotte. Spreads go Michigan State by 1.5 here, so the Spartans are a slight favorite, and they're also actually a halfway decent favorite in the BPI, going 59% towards Sparty. I mean, Michigan State was also argued that, a 9 seed was a bit high for them. Some were saying maybe they just should have been in the first 4 or even left out. But truth is, for Michigan State, this is a team that's got potential. When you consider the expectations of the preseason, there's a reason for that. Obviously hasn't really lived up to that. This is a 14-loss team heading into March Madness. But who knows? This is a team that does have talent. Just a matter of whether or not they can make a run here. But you look at the West region, North Carolina's on the other side. Wagner just beat Howard. So it's either going to be North Carolina or Wagner on the other side, though you would obviously imagine it's going to be North Carolina. So a tough 1 seed does await the winner of this one. Stat comparison, Mississippi State 75 points a game, 69 points allowed. Michigan State 73 points a game, 66 points allowed. This is a strong defensive team here in Michigan State. Both teams are fairly decent at shooting. Overall, not a huge standout, but both teams are somewhat similar in that way. Mississippi State is 3-6 against the top 25. Michigan State is 2-7. This is a team that's played a really difficult schedule, but at the same time, Mississippi State has also played a tough schedule, having played 9 ranked opponents as well. And you look at some notable games. Mississippi State actually swept Tennessee this season. They had their number, but otherwise didn't do too well against good teams. They were 0-2 against Kentucky, 0-2 against Alabama, 0-2 against South Carolina, and they did get a win against Auburn, although they were 1-2 overall. So, for Mississippi State, other than Tennessee, they have struggled against good teams. But as for Michigan State, they got swept by Purdue. They lost to Arizona by 6. They split the series against Illinois, beat Baylor by 24. That was probably the best win of the season for Sparty. And then they also lost to Duke by 9. So multiple tough non-conference games here for Michigan State, and obviously the most impressive one being that 24-point win over Baylor. Your key points, Mississippi State 21-13. This team was hot in February. Not so far in March, although that's not something to put too much stock in, because we have seen cold teams go on insane runs in March Madness before. So that's not something that is going to take Mississippi State out of the tournament, and something that you should or a reason why you should turn them off. But this is an inconsistent shooting team. That is no secret, but this is a strong defensive team especially. You got 2 strong defensive teams here facing off, so it would make sense if this game were to be a bit more lower scoring. But for Mississippi State, this would be their first March Madness win since 2008, so it's been a while since the Bulldogs have had a run. As for Michigan State, this team is known for having runs. That's a big reason why this team is expected or is a favorite in this matchup, is because of obviously the coaching. Tom Izzo's had so much success in March, and you consider the experience too. Michigan State is a team that's got experience. Mississippi State does too, but it especially stands out to me for Michigan State this is a team that, despite being a letdown this season, they got a lot of upside. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Spartans could potentially make a run in this tournament, but obviously it's tough to trust them just based on their performances in the regular season. And I mean, we'll find out through this week if they can somehow knock off the winner of North Carolina, which would probably be North Carolina, you would imagine. If they can knock off North Carolina along with Mississippi State, I mean, the sky's the limit for Michigan State at that current point heading in. But first, they got to get past Mississippi State, and will they? Let's answer that question now. Let's get to the prediction here for Mississippi State and Michigan State. In the end, I am going with the Spartans here by 3. I think Michigan State wins at 65-62. Wouldn't be surprised if this was once again more of a lower scoring matchup. You got two teams that are especially strong on defense. It just makes sense for this to be not quite as high scoring of a game. And I just have to lean Michigan State here. I feel like, I mean, obviously this has been a disappointing season for Michigan State. I feel like many expected that they would be in a much higher position at this point in the season, but I think Michigan State has got potential to catch some fire and definitely make a run in this tournament. I do think it starts in the first round. I'm going Spartans 55%, taking the under as well, and Michigan State to cover the spread in the end. But I mean, Mississippi State's a talented team too. Absolutely could go either way. But let me know your thoughts and comments below on this matchup, score predictions, all of that. And do you think either of these teams can make a run as well? But with that, appreciate you guys all watching as always. My name's Evan. This is All Sports Central. Stay tuned for more. We'll catch you on the next one.